And we're clear. Okay. Sophie here. I'm with Kellen and Nick of Sleeping with Sirens. How are you?
Great.
Very well.
Thank you for having us.
You had an early start this morning, though, because you're on Channel 4's Weekend Brunch. How was that for you?
It was interesting.
It was actually a lot of fun. I think it was a bit more extensive than we had imagined.
Yeah.
Also, we were in different segments and portions of the show, and I don't know, it actually made it pretty entertaining. So.
Yeah, after watching myself, I need to go get like some layers done in my hair or something. It's looking a little bit thick on TV.
You weren't happy with it?
No, it's not that I wasn't happy. I'm like, wow, I need some trim.
How do you cope with live TV in general? Do you feel that pressure when you know, whatever comes out, that is out there?
Well, now that you just
not really, because kids film shows all the time, and then everyone's on their cell phones anyway. So, anywhere you play is going to be out there. I guess the nice thing about live TV, if it's a good television show, is it'll sound better than an iPhone. So
yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, when you're on programs that aren't music programs, you get the interviewers asking the generic old questions like, "How did you come up with your name?" Yeah. How do you keep that "I'm happy and entertained" face on when you've had that question, millions of times?
I honestly think I'm going to lock that question up in the vault of you can't ask that question anymore. And if someone does ask that question, I'm going to say, you can just Google that.
Yeah.
We've been answering that one forever. So
I guess for a program like that, though, where it's a completely kind of different genre of people that have no clue who you are, I guess you kind of have to, put up with questions like that, because they don't know anything about you. So you've got to give up some sort of information that they're, being informed on of who the band is.
And look enthused while you do it.
Yeah.
That's
Get that really excited. Yeah.
You've toured with Pierce the Veil oodles of times. Is that good that you don't kind of have to break the ice like you do with other new bands? You can kind of just relax and get into the flow again.
I think our band's really good at breaking the ice with other bands. We're pretty easily approachable. I think that we are kind of the fun-loving band that everybody wants to hang out with and chill with, and kind of pride ourselves on that. Toured with a lot of really weird bands that aren't like that, so we've made it a point to
not be like that.
First couple days, really get everybody involved and make them feel comfortable. So
you don't want that awkward vibe on tour. You want to be able to just feel at home and relax, don't you?
No, I remember one tour, we were I think a week and a half in, and we were with Tonight Alive and a couple other bands, and Tonight Alive was always in their bandwagon, and so me and Jack just walked on their bandwagon and were like, "You guys are coming out. You're not staying in here. We're going. Get up. Let's go." And they came with us, and the rest of the tour, a blast. And now every time we see them, they're so stoked, and so
You've got to do it, haven't you?
you do. You have to.
What about our Mallory Knox boys? Did you gel with those guys?
Oh yeah,
Loved them.
They're the best.
Loved them.
Best dudes. So much fun to hang out with. Easy to break the ice with. It was after the first night of hanging out, it was, constant hangouts, constant fun. So there's good dudes.
Was Sam being cheeky and drunk?
Oh,
Sam's on my bus all the time.
Yeah, he was.
He's the best. We would we'd put on pop punk music and sing together, and he'd be doing harmonies with me, and that's what we would do. We wouldn't go out. He'd come on the bus, and I'd pull out my phone, and we'd start listening to old drive-through bands and stuff, and he'd just be singing along. It's great.
That's nice. When you're with a band like Pierce the Veil, because you see them all the time, do you think, okay, we don't need to go raging every night, we can take it easy? Or is it the reverse? You just be like, we're so comfortable, let's just party non-stop?
No comment. I'm just kidding. No, I think me and Nick are the most homebody dudes, so for us it's we'll go out to a pub every once in a while, but the rest of the dudes, they go out every night.
Yeah, it's hard for me to do. I've been doing this a lot longer than everybody else, so
I think we're the oldest dudes in the band too.
We are the oldest, so we've kind of gone through our years of the late night partying and stuff. It's kind of important to us, at least for me at this point in my life, to wake up feeling refreshed, because I'll just have all day hangovers and just feel like crap all day, so it's just not worth it to me anymore. So.
Isn't bed the best place? As you get older, that is the destination, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, my bed is the best place.
Yeah.
The bunk on the bus is not my favorite place. I sleep very, very bad on the bus.
I have good bunk sleep. I enjoy it.
You're a very lucky man. It's a rare thing.
Yeah.
I can't. For some reason, especially over here, I feel the bunk always feels like you're kind of like laying on top of a hill, like upside down, and you're like, you could roll down at any moment, but you don't. So it's just constantly that feeling, and it's so uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, not ideal. How do you have to like medicate or like have lots of drink before bed, or how do you solve that, or just
Sometimes. Yeah.
tick tick? Yes.
Yeah, a little nightcap doesn't hurt nobody.
I will say though, like, not to complain about being on a bus.
Yeah.
Like, we've done the van thing.
Yeah.
I think I actually slept better in the van though, to be real.
I used to sleep great in vans.
I've heard that a lot actually.
Yeah. I'm like really short anyway, so I would fit on a bench, and it was like perfect to me. I cozy up and fall asleep in 3 minutes.
It's snug, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I should probably talk to the music about the music now.
Sure.
Madness, fourth album. Now you recorded in Nashville, and I think you scrapped those efforts. Now, what was it in hindsight? Do you think that wasn't connecting or not working with those ones?
Just don't think the songs that we were creating at the time were right for release. They're great songs. They really are, and like, I have a heart for those songs, and a lot of people I've showed those songs to are like, this is awesome, I want this on my iPod right now. So there may be a place for those songs in the future, but we felt as a next release after Feel that it wouldn't have been the right album. So
How did it come up in conversation to find out that you were all on that page? Did someone have to be the gutsy one to say, guys, this isn't working? Kellen?
It was the elephant in the room, I think, with everybody. I think everyone was on the same page of like, felt kind of iffy about the final product, and then Kellen was the first one to raise his voice and say, I don't know about this. And then all of a sudden, we're like, dude, we felt the same way. Thank God somebody said it.
Yeah.
It was important.
Now, in terms of working with John Feldman, I talk about him a lot in interviews because he works with so many great artists, but you've worked with him before. How confident were you that this would be a good pairing? Because it doesn't always work with him.
Beyond confident. And I know that his name had come up even before all the Nashville stuff as well. So, there's definitely a huge comfort level there. And I knew with how he worked and the style of music that he likes to be a part of, I knew it would be a very perfect fit for the band. So that worked out really well.
Did you find that you gelled with him quite quickly? Because he's got quite an intense style of doing things, which isn't suitable for everyone.
yeah, I love it. I write music very similar. Like, I'm pretty fast paced when I write things. I'm not like the type of person that'll sit and spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on a song. If it doesn't feel right, then I move on, That's kind of always the way I've worked. So Feldman's very much a similar producer and songwriter. So yeah, I gelled with him really, really fast, But I mean, it was pretty strange for like the first song we wrote. Like, I'm into it, like, we're in the middle of it, I'm like singing in the booth, I'm like, this is great, and then he just goes, all right, come in, and I came in, he goes, all right, cool, let's move on to the next one. I'm like, I want to finish this is great, and he's like, nah, we'll do it later, we don't have time, because like, we had to like try to get as many songs started, so we could go back and listen through them and decide if they were the right ones or not,
And do you find you have to generally go with the flow of how he likes to do things because it's just, it works, so why argue with it? Or do you sometimes go, actually, I'd rather just stick on this one a bit longer? Or
Yeah, he pretty much just has his way.
Yeah.
Well, when you've got a track record like that, you kind of just got to go with it, haven't you?
Yeah, it's hard to really argue against it. You just kind of trust him, and then once you go through that process of a few songs with him, there's that, you build that trust, and you say, cool, he takes the reins, and at the end of the day, the finished product is going to be beyond what you originally thought. He's like a genius, so he sees the ending of a song, what it's supposed to sound like before anyone else even can wrap their head around it. So
A visionary.
Yeah, I hated that part. Because he would do he'd have like a structure done, and like he'd have all these little bells and whistles to just kind of fill things out, and I'm like, man, this sounds amazing, this sounds done. And then he would send me like the song, because he would go back in and like redo it, and it would be completely different, and I'd be like, no, wait, where was the one why doesn't it sound like it did before? And he goes, you have demo-itis, you're never allowed to hear a demo again.
Oh, no.
So I can't even go.
Ruined it for yourself.
I can't even go in the studio, like, after I sing something, he won't even let me in there anymore.
no.
God, he does sound strict.
Yeah.
extremely.
Yeah.
It's true though. I mean, if you're used to hearing something a certain way and then it changes, then immediately you're going to be like, no, I like it the other way.
Yeah, you get
it's a natural
accustomed to
thing. Now that you said that the lyrics in this are very much based on, I don't know, family, friends, stories that have happened to you. Do you always explain it to Nick and the rest of the guys what exactly it's about? Because sometimes it might be a bit cringe and you might not want to, share the inner details of the story.
I don't know. Do I do that? I don't think I really explain.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you have like a set idea or a set plan as to where your lyrics are going. But there's probably songs that you've written that maybe we don't know fully all about, and I think there's a beauty to that. That's I think it's important for him to be able to have that for his own. As to the mystery of
Exactly.
I try to have him help me on lyrics sometimes, and he goes real dark.
Yeah,
really?
I'm so dark.
It's like, yeah, so, hey, I have this melody idea for this song. Like, what are you thinking for lyrics? He would, write these things down, and I'd be like, Nick, how am I going to sing that? It's so dark.
I'm just weird.
You don't
mine
seem
is-
like a dark guy, though. You seem quite...
No, I'm really not, but I don't know. I come from an old kind of punk rock background of very just intense and say whatever I want to say, and who cares what people really think about it. So maybe that's where that kind of darkness is.
I think he's one of those dudes that comes alive on stage, and then very introverted. Not introverted because you're not you don't keep to yourself too much, but
I'm pretty introverted.
He definitely comes alive on stage, I think.
Yeah, that's my place. That's what I learned when I was a teenager, because I was a very extremely shy individual, didn't want to be around people, never wanted to perform, but then kind of realized that music was the outlet. So I always since then, it's always just been my time.
You have an alter ego on stage.
Completely, yeah.
Talking again about using personal stories, is there a ceiling point for you? Have you ever thought, I want to talk about that, but actually, no, that's going too far. I want to keep that for myself, or maybe that's going to be too intimate to put out there?
I don't think so. I think that it's important to just be who we are, Sometimes I give really serious interviews and sometimes I give really silly ones. It just kind of depends on my mood, and it depends on who's asking me the questions and how I can feel it out, But I think that it's important. It's almost this is our life, basically in CD form and interview form and all that stuff. So I just want to be honest and as true as possible.
You seem so proud of this album. In all the interviews, you look beaming with pride. Do you not usually feel that at the end of, an album creative process, or is this one a different beast for you?
I think the experience of making the album is why I'm so proud of it, because, we went from excitement to holy shit, what are we going to do? To okay, to excited, to yes, finally. And I think that journey is what makes me so proud of this record and what it is.
Yeah. Now, when I came up to this building, there's hundreds of people outside, and I know personally, I have days where I don't want to talk to one person or see one person. What do you do on those days where you're having one of those I want to be a hermit days, and you've got to face, your fans and play to a huge crowd?
You have to remind yourself that it's new for them, I think that's something that I try to weigh in my head as much as possible. The fact that, we've been doing this for 6 months on this tour. For these kids tonight, some of them, I don't know about London because it's 2 nights in a row, but they've been waiting that long to see us. So you have to give them that night that they want, And I think that's important to do that. But yeah, sometimes I definitely don't want to walk off the bus and see kids sitting there right away.
That's actually my nightmare.
If I had a shaved head and I had perfect skin all the time, and I had just a tan that never went away, and I had just everything was going right, let's hang. I'll walk outside. I'll party with you all day. But when you have long hair and you wake up in the morning and it's stuck to your face like this, and you walk out, it's whatever.
Thank God for beanie hats, that's what I say.
Yeah. Seriously.
Saviour. Now, also I wanted to talk to you about the fact that they put you on pedestals these days. They expect you to be these human beings that don't make any mistakes, that know the answers to all their problems. Do you make a point of telling them, look, I make mistakes, I don't know how to solve your whatever stress you're going through at the moment?
I think that we're one of the more vocal bands about that. I think a lot of bands are afraid to be honest about that. I think that we're not. So yeah, I think that there might be people that have their opinion of who I am or who some of the dudes in the band are because of, we're honest, real people. And, sometimes you saying, like, when someone goes, hey, could I have a picture? Do you go, sorry, I really have to be somewhere right now, or I have to go do this or whatever? Those are the people that say, Kellen Quinn's such a dick. Well, I'm not a dick. I have things I have to do. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry that you don't get that or understand that. But I think that some of the kids nowadays are a little bit too entitled, because when I was going to shows, I rarely ever met the bands that played, and I was okay with it. Yeah. But now it's almost expected. It's like, do we need to come and even play shows? Because I feel like kids would rather just line up and take selfies. Yeah.
Or not even ask politely for a selfie. Just go, I want a picture.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I think that, on the other hand, we're very, very lucky and very, very honored to, like, play shows and have fans show up. So that's important to us. But I think that you guys need to understand that we are human beings, and sometimes we don't have the best days. Sorry. Can't be machines.
Exactly. On a lighter note, though, you're back in the UK, as everyone knows watching this, and you talk fondly of the UK in a lot of interviews. Mm-hmm. Have we won you over, Nick? Are you on our side? Are you loving the UK?
Oh, I love it. And my dad was born and raised in Liverpool, so I grew up in, around a lot of English-based things as far as movies and TV shows and all that. So I've always had just an affinity for England in general, so I love it out here.
I thought you were gonna say you grew up around a lot of English babes. You said bass.
That would have been real cool.
That's funny.
When you know that you're coming to town, what are the places you want to go to, the friends you want to meet up with, the food you want to eat? What's on the list of London must-dos?
I really like the Sanderson Hotel. That's like my favorite place in the entire world, but now I probably won't be able to stay there. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love that place. I could just live there for like a year, I feel like. But I love doing that. I love going to just get pub food. Like, that's some of my favorite food here. Just going to a pub, getting some fish and chips, and...
Yeah, I just love the pub environment in general. Just going in there, how everything's set up. It's just, I don't know. I like how old and historic a lot of them look. It's just...
I like the old-timer pubs.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Like, we went to a pub in Germany, and it was just, like, 3 old dudes in there hanging out with us. We were, like, playing Bee Gees and chilling.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, it should be.
Yeah,
that's your future, probably.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Now, can I ask just one more question about Sunday Brunch? Because I watch it every weekend. Cool. I want to know, was the food as good as it looked, honestly?
It was pretty damn
really good.
Yeah. And I was impressed at how quickly, I mean, I know they have, like, their food, like, they have food ahead of the, like, time prepared or whatever, but watching them just make it in front of you, like, so quick.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. They're like, yeah, you just cut this, you just put this on here, you chop this up, and then you just put it all together, and boom, you put it in here, and this is what it looks like. Like, if I could cook that fast, and I could cook food that was, it was that good.
That'd be so cool.
Pumped.
They make it seem possible, don't they, somehow? But when you try it, it's never the same.
No,
terrible.
It's not the same.
The food really was good. Then you're eating the whole time. There's just food being,
You're living the dream today.
Hey, no complaints. Love it.
I don't think I ate as much as you, but
missed out big time.
Well, I think you had more than me.
No, I was nervous, dude, to play on live.
Were you really?
A little bit.
Yeah.
We haven't done it that much, so it's like kind of a new thing for us, It's a little bit scarier playing in front of a camera and like 2 or 3 people than it is to go out and have like an energy of a crowd,
Yeah.
So.
Okay, just to finish up, you're doing the acoustic tour. Yes. You're not a band that just, takes out the plugs. You actually rework the songs. Mm-hmm. Is that nice that you get a second kind of stab at the song and maybe find out things that maybe might work better or differently second time around?
I mean, my favorite thing about being in a band is creating music, and I love approaching songs in an acoustic way. Because I kind of started off doing acoustic music. So being able to strip down an electric song and make it acoustic is awesome. Though I will say this album I think is going to be pretty easy to turn into acoustic songs because they all kind of have that vibe, So there may be some songs that change a little bit, but I don't know that they'll be that crazy completely different. Reworked, I think maybe in the sense of percussion and things like that, getting creative with Gabe. We were talking last night about doing some creative things, almost kind of like street drumming and things like that. We would go out and see dudes drumming on like buckets and stuff. Yeah. We might do things like that and get creative in that regard. But
Yeah.
There's someone in Oxford Circus actually who uses a traffic cone, so that could be an idea.
Yeah.
That's great. You can beat on anything.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, final night of tour. That's a good soundbite right there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good.
Back on form. What was I going to say? Yeah, final night of tour. And how are you going to see it out in style? Is there going to be a big celebration, or are you going to go to bed early?
Tonight?
Tonight I am staying out.
Good man.
I'm actually saying I am gonna enjoy tonight.
And we have a day tomorrow, too, to hang out, so it's like my pre-birthday party.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So we're gonna start tonight. Make it interesting.
We'll see, man. I don't know. I might have hit a wall.
You can't. It's your birthday and end
I
of
may
tour.
get a second win. We don't know.
We'll see. Get a second win.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me, and have a
you for
cracking
having
night.
us.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Do you reckon I should just start? We're ready.
I'll get out.
That's one way of doing it.